As Jalen's walking out on the floor, Jalen turns to me. He says, "I'm getting this win."
Rewind, it's all or nothing, put it all on the line. I see it, I want it, I take it, it's mine.
Bang! Bang! Jalen Brunson knocks it down. Brandon Miller, how do you do?
What I got with me, yeah, the pressure on, still calm with me. All the blood, sweat, tears hard on me, but the highs and lows making harmony. Hold on.
Slam dunk for Cooper Flag.
SGA, dazzling display.
Luka, three. Long distance, no problem.
We had a dozen awesome games, 3 overtimes last night, and we're going to get to all of that. But today's show is a special one because we have the honor of announcing the nominees for the 2026 Naismith Hall of Fame class. So without further ado, here are the women's basketball nominees, tipping it off with Candace Parker. She's, of course, a 2-time WMVP, 3-time champion, and a 10-time All-WNBA performer. She also won a gold medal for Team USA in 2008 and 2012, and, of course, a pair of NCAA titles. And then there's 2-time WNBA MVP Elena Delle Donne, who took home MVP honors in 2015 with Chicago, 2019 with Washington, also led the Mystics to a WNBA championship. And then there is the 1996 U.S. Women's Olympic team led by Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops. That team beat other teams by almost 29 points a game on the way to a gold medal and helped usher in the WNBA the following year. So let's just take a look here. This is the full list, my friends, of the women's nominees. There's also Shamiqua Holdsclaw, you see there, 6-time WNBA All-Star.
How is she not in already?
Also won 3 NCAA titles, Ramona, at Tennessee. And then there's Tisha Penicheiro, 4-time WNBA All-Star, 2005 champ, who was the assist champ. Get this, guys, 7 different times.
Oh, yeah.
So congratulations to all of the nominees here. Shams Charania, Kendrick Perkins, Ramona Shelburne. Ramona, you covered Candace closely here. This is a well-deserved first-time nominee.
Yeah, I remember when she came to Los Angeles, right out of Tennessee, right? And she was #1 pick by the Sparks, Rookie of the Year, her rookie year. And then MVP, her first year in the league. Which is then, at age 22, she gets pregnant. And I remember talking about her at the time, and then afterwards she goes, I knew people were like, wow, your career's going to be in jeopardy now because you got pregnant right after you've been the face of the league. You're there. And she said, you know what? The people that really know me, they know my career is not in jeopardy at all. But that was very interesting watching her go through that and then getting to know her as a woman, because her career was definitely not over, Malika. She won 2 titles after that, Olympic gold medals after that. She's killing it on the broadcast space. And so I think Candace Parker is an icon in women's basketball, but just in women's sports and all of sports.
A legend. And I just remember tuning in to women's college basketball just to watch Candace Parker and make sure that you was gonna catch her dunking. I think when you think of women dunking, you think of Candace Parker. Like, she brought that to life.
And shout out, she's a Chicago girl.
There you are, there, Chicago,
she's so big time. Her brother Anthony Parker, who was a longtime NBA player, now he's general manager of the Orlando Magic. He loves how he's just looked at like he's an afterthought because of how big time Candace Parker is. I know he's watching right now. He's excited.
He won't mind you saying that either.
He won't mind it. He loves it. He has so much love for his sister.
Yeah, it's a high compliment. And Candace, my friend, congratulations. And we will continue to unveil the 2026 Hall of Fame nominations throughout the course of the show. But we have some news out of the W to get to, because the Houston Rockets ownership brass, they're in substantive talks here with the Connecticut Sun over the potential purchase and relocation of the W franchise. Now, remember the Sun, they've played in Connecticut since 2003, while Houston, of course, one of the 8 original WNBA franchises, and they've been without a team since 2009. So this story has Kendrick Perkins' attention, Alexa Philippou. Where does this offer stand here?
Yeah, Malika, well, I will say it does seem like there's a lot of momentum in this direction that we could potentially, barring some unforeseen changes, see a deal done within the next few weeks. I would say maybe at the beginning of the new year. And it seems like the WNBA, the league, this is actually not something they would just not only be supportive of, but this might have actually been their preference all along for the Sun to end up back in Houston. If you remember, Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, actually said at the press conference announcing the 3 new expansion teams in June that Houston was, quote, the one we have our eyes on, the one that's up next. She specifically called out the Rockets owner, Tillman Fertitta. So even though that this is still kind of in the works and there's not necessarily a deal signed right now, it is important to know that the Sun have already committed to having their 2026 season held here at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, right, you know, an hour away from me, right here in the basketball capital of the world, as they say. But it might not be much longer as we see the Sun potentially on the move.
I feel like we need to bring in Director Matt. Can you just please show Kendrick Perkins' face here real quick? I think Kendrick Perkins speaks for all of Houston now.
Don't threaten us with a good time. You don't understand what the Houston Comets meant to the city. Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, what they was doing, they had the place on fire. You mean it's...
You mean to tell you as soon as 2027, this could be happening, Perk. Another story, though, that we're tracking out of the W that I want to make sure that we get to happened yesterday, right? The WNBPA Executive Committee, they authorized a, quote, strike when necessary here. So what that means, the union, 98% of the players voted, they said, and voted yes, rather, and 93% of players total participated in the vote. Again, this is according to the union. And Alexa, you just got off the phone with the president of the WNBPA. What exactly was said in this conversation?
Yeah, this was the first time I've seen at least Nneka Ogwumike speak on the record since that historic vote yesterday. She said that while this was a authorization to have a, potentially consider a strike, that does not necessarily mean that they want to strike, that they are going to strike right now. They do still want to play the 2026 WNBA season, Nneka told me. But she said that this is something in their arsenal that if they don't feel like conversations have progressed, particularly heading into that January 9th deadline, that this is something that they could pursue if they see fit. They right now still do not feel like the league's revenue share model is adequate to what they're looking for. They feel like there has not been enough collaboration and cohesion across the table. That's what Nneka Ogwumike told me. And so they're hoping that things progress. But again, that does not mean that anything necessarily will happen in terms of a work stoppage, but they also have been preparing for that possibility. And so if that's what they seem fit, they say be prepared.
Very important to note here that what Nneka is saying that the players want is to play in this upcoming 2026 season. They just would like to close the gap. Alexa, thank you very much for your insight and for your excellent, excellent sweater choice today. On Fridays, we wear pink. Hey, from the W to the NBA, Steph Curry and the Warriors, Dylan the Villain, and the Suns in action in this one. We're going to pick this one up, Perk, early in the third quarter. Steph Curry driving past Dylan Brooks, finding Jimmy Butler for the nice dunk.
Jimmy Butler finally picked it up. He had been struggling over his last few games with a great dime, but that's the guy right there, Dylan Brooks.
Putting some muscle in his hustle. He had 24 points here. Under a minute left in the fourth. Draymond to Curry. Makes the three, contested by Brooks. Bounces out, though, and then Curry's on the ground here in pain. After contesting the three, you look at Brooks. His arm hits Curry on the chest. And the refs issue
a little excessive.
Foul.
A little excessive.
Yeah, so following the two made flagrant free throws, Butler gets the ball in the perimeter and then drains it again. Again, it's over Brooks. So this is a successful 5-point swing here for the Golden State Warriors. But this is the next play coming up here. Booker gets the inbounds pass. He works his way in. Smooth like butter. Hits that jumper. He had 25 points in this game. And then the next Suns possession here with the game all tied at 98. Brooks has the ball, top, shoots the three. Can't quite get that to go. Jordan Goodwin gets the rebound, and he's fouled on that putback attempt. So just a massive defensive mistake there for the Golden State Warriors. He knocks down the second one after missing the first. The Warriors, they have to throw it full court. They have no other choice with 0.4 seconds left on the clock here. Can't quite get the touchdown to go, so the Suns escape with a 99-98 win here. And the Golden State Warriors, they fall to 13-15 on the season here, Ramona. So could we see some changes being made?
Yeah, they got to do something because the season's getting away from them. You know, they feel like they get Steph back. He's healthy. They can change the offense when Jimmy's out there running the offense. But in this game, this was just about turnovers. I mean, they had a big lead in this game and then just got real sloppy with the ball. And I think they understand, you know, you can't give up 30 points off turnovers in a game. And that is correctable, but this team is going in the wrong direction. This is a game they should have won. They were up most of the time. Devin Booker had a horrible shooting night in the first half. Kind of got it together. And I think they are getting to the point in the season where we got to look at that.
There's frustration across the board with the Warriors. Joe Lacob, obviously, with the ownership, front office, coaches, players, because internally my understanding is the Warriors projected this team to win 50 or more games this season. They felt like the big three of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler was enough to propel this team, but what we've seen is underperformances across the roster, inconsistencies with roles. Steve Kerr's been very public about the fact that he's had issues with the non-Steph Curry minutes, specifically running the offense through Jimmy Butler. That's been a massive issue for the Warriors. And Jonathan Kuminga has basically been banished over the last week of this season. He's been out of the rotation, and the relationship is exactly where it was in the summer. This is a divorce waiting to happen. The essence of it. And January 15th is going to be a big date, not only for the Warriors, but the NBA, but specifically the Warriors, because that's when Jonathan Kuminga is eligible to be traded.
And I hate to hear that, because it seemed like at the beginning of the season there was a specific effort being made here by the Golden State Warriors and really from Jonathan Kuminga.
We were there that opening night.
Exactly.
Remember, every veteran was talking him up.
Starting in the lineup. They started in the first 3-4 games of the season.
And really taking that role on. So the Golden State Warriors, they have a little bit of work to do here. But Perk, I know that as much chatting as he does, you have been impressed by the Phoenix Suns and Dylan the Villain.
You're damn right. No one expected the Phoenix Suns to be where they are. I believe they're in the 7th spot right now, and it's because Dylan the Villain, Dylan Brooks, who has become one of my favorite players in the NBA. And this guy just winning follows this man. Memphis hasn't been the same since he left. We watched him last year help develop that culture with the Houston Rockets, and now he's bringing something that the Phoenix Suns hadn't had since they got rid of CP3, and that's leadership, right? He leads in his own type of way, but that tenacity, that force, people are tuning, and Devin Booker is the best player for context, because once if it get clipped off, I don't want people to get to tripping. But I'm actually looking for Phoenix Suns games when they on to watch to see who they play because of Dylan Brooks.
They win so many of those games where it's like they're down and then Dylan just starts creating chaos.
And he was on the show and we asked him whether or not he likes the nickname, and he said, yeah, plus it rhymes, so of course it fits. So that was one of the 12 games last night. We had the tough task of narrowing it down to just 3 top plays. Coming in at number 3, how about Norm Powell, who really has been a boost here for Miami. Did you see this? One-handed half-court shot at the buzzer?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Look at that. He held the hand up, too.
Well, now that these shots don't count for individual stats, players are more incentivized to take them.
Crazy.
But Norm,
like a teardrop from half court.
Sharp shooter there. At number 2, how about Jeremy Grant? Gives Portland some love here.
This was a hell of a game last night.
You know what? He's still got the hops.
This dunk is nasty.
He's still got hops here.
Oh, that poor rookie. That's the rookie center there.
Whoa! Today, watch out! Remind everybody with that one. All right, lastly, at number 1, since we're showing some authoritative dunks, you know what this show He is playing well, and man, he gives us some fun highlights, even though those uniforms, we're not going to talk about those. We're going to talk about this.
You know when the dunk nasty because the game stopped.
Big crash went up and was like, I don't think so.
Did you realize it wasn't a foul? The game stopped at this moment.
Oh, and he gave a look, too.
He gives us some insane highlights, and so does this guy. Luka Jokic started the season hitting all the right notes, but what his latest performance against the Jazz, it could mean in the Western Conference. And SGA and Jokic, they've won the past 2 MVPs. As we get ready to unveil the International Hall of Fame nominees, how about we check in on the current international stars, starting with Slovenia's finest, Luka Doncic. Luka and the Lakers take it on the Jazz. First quarter here, Luka gets the steal, goes behind the back, lobs it up to Jake LaRavia. Tim Bontemps for the slam.
I still can't get over Luka Doncic in a Laker jersey.
Well,
we're going to get old.
You know what? I think that the Utah Jazz may agree with you, but look out, LeBron James still got it here, Perk.
One of his signature moves on the fast break and transition.
How about this? More from LeBron James.
Take off then.
Still making posters at the age of 40 years old
get himself
there.
a little looser as he gets into the season. It's good to see.
Let's see, Bontemps, if this couple of clips here helps you acclimate to Luka in a Los Angeles Lakers jersey here, because the amount of attention that he gets is just insane.
It's remarkable. I mean, he really is a one-man offensive engine, and you're seeing it this year. He's putting up nearly a triple-double every night, and See where he's at in the
Well, he has to be, just like every bucket mattered, because they damn sure couldn't get no stop.
By the way, 45 points, 14 assists, 11 rebounds. And yes, the Lakers did have to win the hard way. Now to Canada's phenom. It was yet another day at the office for the reigning MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the reigning day at the office means that he only has to play in 3 quarters here, Bontemps. The Clippers gave him a hard time in the first quarter. That was about it here. SGA, drives, layup, plus the foul here. Great finish by SGA.
SGA is smooth as silk, and just the way he cuts through defenses like he is right here, it's never gets cold to see.
And this is why we call him Shea Butter. So, first quarter, check. Second quarter, check. The third quarter, you know this is the end for SGA. Steps back for this one. Hits the 3.
Yeah, they're already up by 20.
Yeah, Thunder cruising in this one. Will SGA play in the fourth? The answer is no. So we finished with 32 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. The Thunder, they win at 122-101. And I love that Nick Gallo got the chain afterwards as well. And from one MVP to another, Nikola Jokic from Serbia. He made history last night against the Magic here. Second quarter, Jokic backing down the defender. Just floats it in here, Ramona.
Yeah, I mean, he does this with his eyes closed. I actually think he could.
Jamal Murray. He's had slow starts, not this year, Perk.
No, averaging a career high right now in points, 24 points a game, and he looks good. He looks refreshed.
Murray, once again, Tim steps back, gets that one to go.
The biggest thing for the Nuggets this year has been Jamal Murray showing up in mid-season form at the start of the year. As you said, Malika, he never looks like that at the beginning. It's why he might be an all-star for the first time.
Oh, my goodness. Like, he's not moving quickly, and yet...
You don't have to be quick to be effective.
Where did he go?
It's like a video game glitch.
Jamal Murray, after scoring 20 in the second quarter, he finished with 32 points in this one. And then Jokic here, finding Cam Johnson for the corner 3. Jokic finished with 23 points, 13 assists, 11 rebounds, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Here's his reaction to breaking the record.
But tonight, you became the all-time NBA assist leader for sitters in the history of the game. Does that mean anything?
Yeah, I mean, I always say those things are something for after career. I think the legacy for after career that I'm going to look back and on the porch drinking beer and telling the lies to my kids.
And the horses.
And the horses. Please don't forget the horses. And my dad always says, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. When you look back at your career, you can tell a couple of things to your kids. But look at this. SGA, Jokic, Luka lead ESPN's latest edition of Tim Bontemps' MVP straw poll. That's where Tim, he does the hard work here. 100 media members he polls to mimic the league's postseason award balloting. Rounding out the top 5, Cade Cunningham from the East-leading Detroit Pistons and Jalen Brunson from the New York Knicks. And by the way, this straw poll, it is wildly accurate. Tim Bontemps is at the helm and joins us here now. Tim, we're nearly 2 months into the season. SGA leads the way. That was my exact ballot that I sent you.
It's almost like you know what's going on, Malika.
Maybe I should translate that into a vote, but I don't just now. Does this mean, do you think, that he is going to win back-to-back MVPs?
We will see. There's been 2 things that have been accurate about the straw poll, Malika. One is that the guy who's been at the lead of it at the end of the season has won 6 years in a row. The other is that the guy who's been at the lead of it at the start of the season has lost the last 6 years in a row.
Interesting.
So we will see if that continues forward this year. The biggest takeaway for me is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading this straw poll by a narrow margin, despite the fact that the Thunder are now 25-2, despite the fact he's putting up cartoonish numbers, I think means Nikola Jokic has a real chance to get another MVP award, and I think it might come down to whether they can get to 70 wins. If they win 67, 68 games and, in theory, drop back a bit from the pace they're on, and Nikola Jokic continues putting up absolute video game numbers and shooting 60% from the mid-range like he is, I think he could still get in there and get another MVP. But if Shai gets 70 wins, I think it's his to lose.
Yeah, I think every single year it's also Jokic doing it without several key players on his team. Sometimes it's Jamal Murray who's been hurt. This year, Aaron Gordon's been hurt a lot. Christian Brown's been hurt. He's still doing it. The Nuggets are still good this year. But I had Shai #1 right now just out of respect for their record and how good Shai has been. And this is one of those stories where it's almost like LeBron at his peak. He could win every year. So you then compare his numbers to every other year that he won. And that's Jokic.
Look, this season for his MVP voting is going to be the hardest voting process
that you've done
in the last 10 years that I've done, right? Because you have so many guys that are deserving of this award. But if I had to give the nod to somebody, it would be SGA. 1, because of the record, but 2, because he's not just playing really good basketball, he's playing some great basketball. And I always look at his field goal percentages and what he's doing. 56% from the field, 44% from three. Like 91% of his jump shots are being contested. By the way, he lead the league in made two-point jump shots at 6'6" without playing in the fourth quarter.
Right. Like those numbers are like in three quarters.
He don't play in three quarters. So again, it's gonna be between him and Jokic with a lot of other guys, the other few guys on their heels.
Yeah.
But again, this is going to be a hard one.
And for anyone who's at home right now saying, it's only December, we don't have to decide the MVP now, you're right. This is why Tim Bontemps still has a couple of straw polls
right. Got two more coming.
Incredibly accurately. One thing we do know is that the MVP leaders hail from outside the U.S., so let's keep that international theme going and unveil the 2026 Naismith Hall of Fame international nominees here, which include Cavs coach, former Cavs coach, David Blatt here.
A lot of success internationally.
Marc Gasol, the three-time All-Star and 2019 champ, absolutely.
Yep, final piece of the Raptors title thing.
Also, really a decorated international for Spain as well.
No question.
And then
Andre Karolinko.
Yeah, Andre Karolinko, Andres Nocioni, Carolina
Messina, all right.
3 all-defensive teams in his
Carlos
career. So a really decorated group here. And then, of course, there's Penny Taylor, who won 3 WNBA championships. Yes. Made 3 All-Star teams. Ramona, you said December 3rd. He's been recovering from a calf strain, but on Thursday, he spoke publicly for the first time since a recent report raised questions about his future in Milwaukee. Take a listen.
If my agent is talking to the Bucks about it, he's his own person. He can have any conversation he wants about it. That doesn't. At the end of the day, I don't work for my agent. My agent works for me. Me personally, I don't want to be the guy that I'm worrying about rumors. Like which maybe not, but my legacy is on the line, bro. This is how I feel every single day when I walk in here. Like every single day I go out there and I'm not able to help my team win. I feel like I'm being tested. And so when I'm being tested, everybody goes back to what they know best. And what I know best is to work hard. This is the most I've been ever talked about in my career. I'm like in my house with my kids and all that, and I'm opening the TV and like, oh, Giannis is going to the Memphis Grizzlies. You know, Giannis is going to the Detroit Pistons. You know, which, hey, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the hottest chick in the game right now, man.
Leave it to Giannis to always have a very apt metaphor here. But this is interesting because Giannis, it's not league mandated that while you're out with injury, you have to speak to reporters. So some decision was made that this was the right time.
You are supposed to
now.
once.
Yeah, you're supposed to once. Okay, so that this was the time in the wake of reporting from Shams Charania and others that the volume is being turned up in Milwaukee because the Bucks are 11-17. They're 11th in the Eastern Conference. What did you make of this here, Tim?
Malika, you are a loyal listener to the Hoop Collective, right?
I am.
What is our show motto? Actions over words, right? The words of Giannis Antetokounmpo here, I'm not really worried about. I don't really care what he's saying in this press conference because the actions of both he and the Bucks are, while it might be awkward, while it might not make a lot of sense to a lot of people, they have not, to this point, had any discussion or had any public knowledge of, hey, we're going to look to part ways. Until that happens, they're going to see this awkward dance continue and the Bucks try to make this team as good as possible with Giannis.
But I want to make sure that I was hearing that correctly, what Giannis was saying, Ramona, because he said if my agent is talking to the Bucks about it, he's his own person. Typically, that's not the way that agents operate, and if it is, you don't typically stay with that agent for very long if they're doing things behind your back. That seems strange to me.
Yeah, I think we're making him talk about something he doesn't want to talk about, clearly. I don't know why Giannis has to be in this position. Like, his agent works for him. They are obviously on the same page and wherever is going on here. He's just in an uncomfortable position. He doesn't want to be the bad guy. He's won a championship in Milwaukee. He has very clearly stated, all I want to do is win. I love it here, but I also love winning. And when it is going to come to a choice between winning or staying, it's obvious what he's going to choose. And so this reminds me a lot of a guy that Giannis spent a year with, and Dame Lillard. Remember when he was leaving Portland? He didn't want to leave Portland. He loves Portland. He's back in Portland now. But they weren't winning. They were turning into a lottery team. And so Dame eventually had to be the bad guy. And I feel bad that we put our best stars in this position where they have to be the bad guy.
Yeah, or even that asking out is quote unquote a bad guy thing to do.
Let's everybody keep a cool booty. Everybody stop for a second, including you, Giannis. Stop. Stop, bro. And it's okay. No one on this panel, no one in the media, no one in Milwaukee, the fan base, no one is going to be mad at you. You have poured your blood, sweat, and tears into this organization. You have delivered a championship. Let's not talk about what you have done for the city on the economic standpoint. Like, no one is going to be mad at you. I'm tired of the roller coaster. right? I'm tired of the up and down. If your agent is having conversations with the organization, you know about them. That's how it works. Players know everything that their agents is doing. I knew everything that my agent was doing, and I'm not even close to the level that Giannis Antetokounmpo is on. So again, if you want to, I feel like this relationship has ran its course. Now, reports came out that Giannis asked out in June or August or July, whatever day it was, whatever month it was, he asked out. They tried to test the market, whatever the case may be. It's okay. It's okay, bro.
He's still playing hard for the Bucks when he's able to play.
I get that, but the relationship has ran its course.
And it's important to note that Giannis could be out another several weeks here as he continues to work back from this calf injury, that clearly they're being cautious with their approach to his return here. Actions over word, though, and we will continue to update you as these actions unfold. But today throughout the show, we've been unveiling the 2026 nominees for the Hall of Fame class. And our next category is North America, headlined by a certain high flyer.
When you dunk on somebody, it's a huge momentum builder.
Blake Griffin explodes on Gasol. A monster jam by Blake Griffin. Oh, me, oh my, what a play.
At no point in my career will I ever back down from somebody. I want to win multiple championships. I want to be a Hall of Famer. I want to have MVPs, everything.
Blake Griffin leads the North American nominees for the Hall of Fame, and after a career full of highlights for the six-time All-Star, it is incredibly well-deserved. This list is absolutely stacked. He's joined by three-time Sixth Man of the Year, Jamal Crawford, in the nominations as well. And this list also includes seven-time champ Robert Horry in this
Yep.
He's on the list. One of these years he might get in. Seven rings.
Joe Johnson, Kevin Johnson, I eat at Fixins every day.
Bill Lane Beer, also what he did in the women's game.
Yes.
And then the North American nominees continue with Bruce Pearl, who led Auburn to the Final Four in the 2018-19 season. And then 2024-25
get his shot.
as well.
Go get in there.
You racked up nearly 500 wins.
I just hope he had me on stage.
And then contests also, the nominees include another 2024-25 Final Four coach in Kelvin Sampson as well, who made 3 Final Fours and won 700 career games here.
Might get another Final Four and a championship this year potentially too. Almost got his first title last year.
Yes, that's a good point. And let's continue the Hall of Fame nomination celebration. I like that rhymes. With two of the most entertaining players, though, in this group, Blake Griffin and Jamal Crawford. We got a special top of the top for these two gentlemen. Top Windex. This means cleaning the glass. Jamal out and running in 2005 and just whoops it.
One of the most creative players in the history of the sport. Jamal Crawford.
I think he can still do that, too.
Just had an incredible bag, could all kinds of tricks. Just super fun to watch.
And then there's Blake Griffin.
By the way, Blake, for as great a dunker as Blake was, I don't think he gets enough credit for becoming a really good shooter. He became a good three-point shooter as he lost his athleticism later in his career, was a really skilled player, but obviously the dunks are what we remember.
I was front and center for a lot of those.
I was going to say, Power appreciates you talking over that. Perk, we're so sorry.
I know. It was the reason Tony was trying to be extra nice to us, extra nice to me today.
It's a heck of a highlight. Nice contest, Perk. And then this one in 2010, probably the best one ever.
I mean, that one.
Ooh, he covered Mozgov's eyes.
He really did.
Timo barely tried on that one.
I don't even think he jumped.
How about some shake and bake? You know Jamal Crawford, he needed his own category for this one. The iconic shake and bake. Heinrich.
Just an unbelievable bag.
The wiggle.
He was adored in New York.
Is that a slippery eel?
No, that's a wiggle.
All right, and then same move on Deron Williams in 2007 on Deron Williams.
Yeah. I mean, Jamal just was so much fun to watch. And was still doing this when he was almost 40, too.
Yeah. And then we got to have a category for showstoppers, right? A little hezzy.
Oh, come here.
Oh, this is peak Lob City era. Peak Lob City.
Wes Matthews ain't know what to do. He was dizzy as hell after that. Look at him.
And then Jamal and Blake out running together.
Oh, here we go.
And then Blake throws
through the
down.
legs. Oh, my
With
gosh.
the windmill.
You're right. Peak Lob City here.
2013.
Absolutely.
That's when it was.
That's right.
With the Clippers.
Congratulations to the nominees as we continue with our class for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame here. The contributor list of nominations includes longtime announcer.
Do the voice.
Albert.
Got one? You got a Marv?
And offensive mastermind Mike D'Antoni is included with the nomination.
As is
Bill Duffy.
Bill Duffy.
Absolutely.
Brody Bickerstaff, come on.
Congratulations
Oh, Brody?
to Bill Duffy as well. And then there's Johnny Most, the Celtics announcer who made what famous call, Tim?
He made the call of Havlicek stole the ball. Pert knows this very well as another Celtics legend. I can't believe Johnny Most isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Alex McKechnie, legendary trainer for Steve Nash, Toronto Raptors, LA Lakers.
And then there's Curly Neal, who played 22 seasons for the Globetrotters, one of the most magical dribblers.
Welcome back to NBA Today.
Christmas is almost here. That means two things, Santa Perk and Dunk the Halls. Cavs Knicks at noon Eastern on ABC and ESPN. It's going to feature a real-time animated version of the game from Main Street USA at Magic Kingdom. You can catch that on ESPN2. You can also watch it on Disney Plus, the Disney Channel, Disney XD, and the all-new ESPN app. And a teenager we are going to see playing on Christmas Day, Cooper Flag. He's just a couple days away from turning 19, but he continues to stack impressive rookie performances here. 23 points, 10 rebounds, and the playmaking late, including the assist to Anthony Davis for the go-ahead alley-oop in overtime. Don't look now, but the Mavericks, they've won 6 out of their last 8 games here. Here's Cooper Flag after the win.
You know, whenever we turn this thing around and, I think we have, started in that direction, it's going to make it a lot sweeter, knowing the way we started it.
So this had us looking through today's Threads posts, and content creator Ricky Fontaine, he posted this. The Mavs, they're one Kyrie Irving away from being, what, Perk? A serious problem. This is a big turnaround here for a Dallas Mavericks team that we were talking about as being in a whole lot of trouble.
Well, they're knocking at the door of being in the play-in tournament, right? I believe they're only about 2 or 3 games back from being in the 8th spot. If they get in, Look, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the first round of the playoffs this year.
A Kyrie Irving away, Shams. Do we have any update there on how he's looking for this season?
Kyrie Irving's still going through his rehab. 9 months, I believe, takes you to January. That's usually the period that you look again and see really where you're at.
Okay, well, that means if fans on Threads, they're going to be talking about this. You can join the conversation. Just scan the QR code and jump on in. And on Christmas Day, I hope everybody is threading because Santa's coming to town. We have 5 games to go along with presents and hot cocoa. The Cavs Knicks at noon Eastern. And then, of course, the nightcap is the Timberwolves and the Nuggets here. Our Shams Charania caught up with Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards recently. Take a listen.
Are you not entertained, ladies and gentlemen? Put that one on the highlight reel with all the rest.
So, Ant, this year, statistically, again, one of your best seasons in the NBA. What was that like, and then challenging yourself going into the year?
Just working on my mid-range, being able to play through contact, trying to leave the refs alone, because I had a lot of techs last year, so just trying to grow.
When did you learn, like, yo, I've got to add this post-game, this mid-range shot?
Yeah, I'm playing against OKC. They play like AAU defense, like run and jump. So it's like, it's not too much you're going to be able to do at the top of the court with the ball in your hand, because they're going to put 2-3 people on the ball every time I touch it. So after the series, I just was like, man, I got to find different ways to score.
Yeah, slow motion.
Good shot, boy. I need you to take off anyway.
I hear constantly throughout the whole organization is you as a teammate, like just how genuine you are about being a great teammate, being a leader. What clicked with you?
I think probably being with the USA team, just seeing like, everybody got their own way of leading. You got to learn how to talk to everybody. Some guys you can be super hard on. Some guys you got to pull to the side and talk to them one-on-one. So just learning that.
What Team USA moments that you remember, you're like, man, that's a great lesson for me. Like, I'm going to take this back.
Probably Curry. No matter what, he always stuck with the work. And I think that's what, like, opened my mind to, like, never go against the work. Every day after practice, he was always do the same routine. Get up a bunch of shots, go home, act like nothing happened. And then he always said, don't worry about it, it's going to fall. Like, it's going to fall. And then the games that we needed him the most, he came through. So I think that was super special.
Curry's wide open for 3. DiVincenzo there. Gobert there. Steph 3.
When you were in the Bay, you guys won that game.
Yeah. I took a couple of pictures. They say, like, you're not supposed to be on your phone on the on the bench. They say it's, like, against the rules. I was like, man, bump the rules. Ever since I was with Under Armour, since, like, 8th grade, I always wore Steph Curry's. And then going to his camp a couple years later, getting drafted, and then playing in the Olympics with him. They seen how cool he is, and then seeing him wearing my shoes. Just like I was a kid again, so I had to take the picture. It was like some quick, you know how people do when they see somebody famous walking by, they be holding their phone like this. That's how it was.
I love that. I love that Ant's just like all of us. When Steph Curry's out on the floor playing, of course you're going to sneak a little photo in there. Shams, that was an excellent conversation. And the Timberwolves, they play the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. Anthony Edwards, what do we know about his availability here?
Like sources tell me Anthony Edwards will be returning to the lineup tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's a rivalry game here with the Thunder and the Timberwolves. They met in the conference finals last season. He's missed the last 3 games dealing with an infection in his right pinky toe, but he's back. Minnesota, Oklahoma City, and Edwards against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tonight.
You know what I'm loving? I'm loving that stars are not backing down here to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I expect no less from a Victor Wembanyama, from an Anthony Edwards. They want all the smoke, and they're going to come back against the league's leading team. And you know, another thing that I love is that was just a snippet of your conversation with Anthony Edwards. We're going to have the entire thing for you on Christmas Eve. But Shams, can you give us a sneak peek?
You just have to wait and see at who won Papa Shot.
Oh!
I'm just going to say we played a little Papa Shot.
Okay.
And your boy held his own.
Okay, well, as someone who lost to Anthony Edwards when he cheated playing Jenga and had to do push-ups, I hope you weren't on the other side of that. Shams, thank you. Can't wait for the full conversation. Today, though, is also about the 2026